Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women just like you. I should say melanated people just like you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Looks like we had a little glitch with another thing that popped up, but some other folks over at the other when I first set up. So there was a little delay. But anyway, we're here, beloved. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Vicki Show right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. A little bit of housekeeping before we get ready to get into this most important war briefing. Y'all know that's what we do. Y'all know that's what I believe in doing. Thank you so very much. As you come in, beloved, please come in giving us the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. You can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Also, beloved, I want you to know that you can sign up for my mastermind that I'm doing tonight at clubvicki.com. That's clubvicki.com. It's typically on Wednesdays. It's typically on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Yes, it's typically on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. Once a week, I'm dropping a spiritual jewel, a metaphysical jewel, whatever you want to call it. And I expound on it. And then it's an exclusive VIP setting. So you get to ask me questions there. You have access to me there. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you. We're growing by leaps and bounds. And so I'm so pleased with our particular growth. And thank you so much for doing that. One other important mastermind that you must be aware of is Dr. Boyce Watkins is doing a mastermind October 15th with the great Dr. Claude Anderson. It's a Powernomics mastermind. You know that's going to be amazing. You want to sign up for that as well at Powernomicsmasterclass.com. I believe that's correct. Powernomicsmasterclass.com. All right, dear family. Thank you so much for your patience with that little bit of housekeeping that's so important for Black media. Listen, today, let me show you what I posted for our war briefing today. Let me show you what I posted. Takora, thank you for your Cash App. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. I tweeted Instagram this. I don't know how many of you may or may not have gotten a chance to see it. But I tweeted this earlier today. Instagram this early today. I put it on Twitter too. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard, and you can follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicki, my last name first. Okay, can y'all see that okay? I'm trying to get it, y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Now watch this. This is a picture. Yes. Of Gayle King, also known as Gayle King. She and her homegirl, her sister girl, Oprah Winfrey. They're better known as Okra and kale. Y'all know we believe in eating our vegetables and stuff. Somebody talk black to me. But anyway, I have been dealing with these prolific and well-known members of the League of Mammies for some time now. See, that League of Mammies sorority is nothing to play with. Y'all play too much. That League of Mammies is nothing to play with. So we've been doing over the last couple of plus years, me in particular online, and I'm sure maybe perhaps others as well. But I've been giving them this non-stop, everlasting work which they so rightly deserve. These League of Mammies, exclusive group, League of Mammies, they have been doing untold and immeasurable damage to Black society. These League of Mammies are extraordinarily dangerous because they provide cover for our open enemy. Somebody talk black to me. We've been exposing that nonstop. And guess what, family? Never in a million years did anybody believe that we would have made the inroads into cracking the foundation that is Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King. People that like to make fun of and mock the Black grassroots and their effect on Black society. We need to look no further, beloved, than Oprah and Gayle. We have been exposing them, causing them to be held accountable for their anti-Blackness, and we've been making a difference. Now, the latest thing that took place with Gayle King, she had the nerve to get an interview, family, with Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. She had the nerve to get an interview with Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. Now, I want to play for you a little bit of the audio to let you know what took place. Of course, Kenneth Walker, for those of you that don't know, is Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, the one that fired the shot when he believed that those race soldiers that illegally and unlawfully entered his home, he thought that they were burglars. He thought someone was trying to burglarize his home. So he was protecting his woman. He was protecting his home. And so Gayle King, who does interviews to humiliate and to desecrate the names of Black men, both living and dead, on behalf of white supremacy, she had the nerve to get an interview with Kenneth Walker. Somebody talk black to me. So I want you to begin to hear a little bit of this as I set this up. And if you would give me just a moment, I want you to get ready to listen to a little bit of this. I always, like to read this disclaimer, this Copyright Act of 1976. As I'm doing that copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, personal balance. Nonprofit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right. Let's get ready to listen to some of this. So she had the nerve on her morning show. Let me find it here. Here we go. She had the nerve on her morning show, y'all.
His name is Kenneth Walker. Now he was with...
To get an interview with Kenneth Walker. The fact that she even got this interview with Kenneth Walker and that he accepted it lets us know that the work of Black media isn't done. And that's fine. It's going to take time for us to continue to have an impact. We've been doing an amazing job considering what we have. Somebody talk Black to me. So here we go. So she did her morning show, on CBS this morning. And she had the nerve to get this interview with Kenneth Walker. And I want you to listen to just a little bit of the beginning part. We won't listen to the whole thing, but I want you to listen to just a few excerpts. I watched it this morning. And I actually saw the thing yesterday, and shout out to some of our supporters that wanted to make sure that I covered this. And of course, I decided to go ahead and do that. I want you to listen to a little bit of what Gayle says, and then I want to remind you, inform you of what's really going on here. How is it that Gayle King ended up getting this interview, doing this interview? What is the meaning of this, and why is this important right now during this holy uprising? I'm going to continue to talk about the holy uprising, which is Black resistance to white supremacy. And we're seeing expressions of it, manifestations of it in the streets. And we know that we've sparked a global revolution. And we're just getting started. Somebody talk Black to me. On the count of three, family, while I'm cueing this.
Killed by Louisville police officers on March 3rd.
On the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. I know some folks may have been misdirected to the first place where we were a few minutes ago. I was having some technical issues, so I had to delete that. And I saw that some people were over there waiting. So I apologize for the technical issues today and the misdirection that you may have experienced. But on the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Now I want to show you this picture because I want you to know what you're looking at. This is Gayle King interviewing Kenneth Walker, the protector, the Black man that was protecting our sister, attempting to protect her from what he believed at the time to be intruders. And he had no reason to believe it was anything but intruders, because we now know that the race soldiers, white supremacist terrorists that are also known as police, we now know that everything they did that night was a lie, was illegal, was unlawful. Is that right, family? So this is what you're looking at. Here we go.
He told us that they were in bed watching a movie when police raided the apartment as part of a narcotics investigation that was targeting her ex-boyfriend. We should point out that Kenneth Walker and w-Breonna Taylor do not have a criminal history, and no illegal drugs were found in that home.
Now, I want to stop right there, because that statement is a problem. The fact that Gayle King, and she's not the only one that does it, but I'm calling this out. The fact that Gayle King wants to emphasize that neither w-Breonna Taylor nor Kenneth Walker have a criminal record, entirely misses the point. And it is very, 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 very dangerous to other Black people. Some of you may not have even caught that. Some of you may not understand the impact and the danger in making that a big deal. Listen again.
Investigation that was found in Louisville police officers on March 13th. He told us that they were in bed watching a movie when police raided the apartment as part of a narcotics investigation that was targeting her ex-boyfriend. We should point out that Kenneth Walker and w-Breonna Taylor do not have a criminal history, and no illegal drugs were found in that home.
The reason I have a problem with that, family, is because you mean to tell me that even if they had a criminal record, you are giving the impression, the message that you are sending is that it would be okay what these race soldiers, these white terrorists did to our black family if they had a criminal record. Somebody talk black to me. The other problem is who gives us these criminal records. Criminals, white folk, white supremacists. I have a problem with that. It does not matter if they had a criminal record at all. You would not be worthy of experiencing that terrorist attack. Shame on Gayle for making that a big deal. And shame on any media outlet that would make that a big deal as if that's something that ought to be talked about. It does not matter. That's dangerous. Before you even hear what Kenneth Walker said, she emphasized that. That leaves other folk with a criminal record at risk. That's saying that they are not worthy of protection. You're saying that a person that does have a criminal record doesn't deserve the protections of other people that don't. Are you all understanding why that's so serious? And why that was a fatal mistake in the first place? Moreover, the real reason that Gayle King said that was because this is her attempt to do what she and Okra do best. It's what's in their bones. It's what's in their DNA. And that is to appease and to set at ease white people. She knows that when they're going to be watching this, and she knows that when they see black folk, that's the first thing that they're going to think about. When they see Kenneth Walker, this is what's going to go through their mind. And I'm trying to tell you, who gives 2 cents what's going through their little sick, twisted minds? That's dangerous, family. Shout out to you, a naturally tour, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Keep listening as I expose this. We must always pay attention to this. I'm calling this out because this is a war strategy against us, and I'm trying to let you know that it doesn't even matter if they did. It's white people that give you the record in the first place so that they can use those kinds of things against you, in the same way that Daniel Hawksclaw, that white and Asian race soldier police officer out of Oklahoma, he raped nothing but black women. And when they investigated, they found out that he specifically and intentionally targeted black women. And he was especially wanting black women that had some kind of a brush with the law, because he knew they would be less likely to be believed. And nobody would really care whether or not they were violated. Somebody talk black to me.
Over the weekend to talk with Kenneth Walker about that night.
To the world, just a hashtag, a picture, and all of that. But to me, it was much more. More than a girlfriend, too. I think that's what I want the world to know the most. That was my best friend. The most important person, pretty much, to me on the earth. And they took her.
Let's go back to that day. What kind of day was it for you two?
It was a normal day. It was a relaxed day. Really just chilling and just being us. You know, we went on a date, went out to eat, went back in the house, playing, watching a movie. Take us to that moment when your life really changed forever. It was a loud bang at the door. Nobody was responding. We were saying, "Who is it?" You all did ask, "Who is it?" Several times. Several times, both of us. There's no response.
The police say that they said several times, it's the police.
If they knock on the door and say who it was, we can hear them. It's dead silent. I'm 1,000,000% sure that nobody identified themselves.
So the next thing you hear, the door flies off the hinges. Are you feeling afraid?
Definitely afraid. But I don't have much room to be afraid because I got somebody here that I got to take care of.
So you hear the heavy knocking, and what do you do?
So now at that point, we're getting up to put on clothes, make ourselves decent to answer the door. Then I grab my gun.
We should also say you were licensed to carry the gun.
For sure.
Now there's Okra again. That's Kale again. Kale again. Where she's emphasizing we should just say that you're a licensed gun carrier. Well, that's fine. I emphasize that too. But I do that in a sense to where I'm letting Black folk know it's okay to be of the mindset to defend yourself. Even if I may defend myself a little differently than you, the point is, when I'm mentioning it, it's about the embracing, the need, normalizing the need for Black folks to defend themselves. When Gayle is emphasizing it, when Gayle is saying that, she's saying that for on behalf of white people. You understand? Now, to a degree, I'm not so much tripped out on that particular part, but I want you to continue to listen to further. I just want you to know there's an interconnection here. Keep liking and sharing, family.
The one time I had to use it. If it was the police at the door and they just said we're the police, me or w-Breonna didn't have a reason at all not to open the door and see what they wanted.
So the doors fly off the hinges.
I let off one shot, and I'm figuring if somebody's trying to break in or something, they're not gonna want to do anything after that.
And after that, what happens?
I don't think I ever heard so many gunshots like all at the same time. I've never been to war, but I assume that's what war probably sounds like.
One officer fired 6 shots. Officer Mattingly. Officer Cosgrove fired 16 shots. Officer Hankinson fired 10 shots. That is a lot of firepower.
I still try to make sense of it to this day. There's definitely nowhere to hide. There's bullets coming in every direction.
When did you realize that Breonna had been shot?
I guess in the middle of all the gunfire, like she screamed, but like I was holding her hand.
You were holding her hand?
Yeah, like while this was happening, I pulled her down to the ground. But she was just scared, so she just didn't get down. So
in the middle of all of this, you realized that she's been hit. Was she alive at the time?
She was still, and when all the gunfire stopped, she was like bleeding and stuff, and I was holding her. Then that's when I called my mom.
You called your mom first?
Yeah, I told her that somebody just kicked in the door and shot Breonna, and she's freaking out at this point, but she told me to call 911, so I did.
911, operator Harris, where's the emergency?
I don't know what happened. Somebody kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend.
While you're on the phone, you don't know it's the police.
I didn't know it was the police, not at all. And I even proceeded to tell 911 that, somebody just kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend. If I knew who it was, I would have said the police. Or I wouldn't have been calling the police on the police. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Where was she shot at?
I don't know. She's on the grill right now. I don't know.
Is she alert and able to talk to you?
No, she's not. Breathe.
In the midst of me talking to 911, I'm like, well, Breonna's mama should know about this too. I hung up on them and I called her mom.
The police didn't come rushing in?
Not at all.
Okay, family, that's a lot. This was a kind of a lengthy interview. They're going to be doing a part 2 here shortly, but I don't want to go too much further in this interview. But I wanted to let you know, in Gayle King doing this, I titled today's podcast, How Gayle King is Not Worthy. Gayle King is not worthy of this interview with Kenneth Walker. At a time where so much attention is on Breonna Taylor, and by extension, every Black woman, every Black man, and America's criminal justice system, and their white racist terrorist soldiers, came in concerning Breonna Taylor. Y'all remember that not too long ago? Oprah came in and got 26 billboards with Breonna Taylor's name on it. All of the media outlets were doing pieces on Oprah and talking about how wonderful it was that Oprah did this, and it came in a bit and took away some attention. Why did I say that? Why do I say that? Because it was you and I, folk like you and I, it was the Black grassroots that gave this thing momentum. That's fine. I'm happy that the issue is elevated so that other people can hear about it. But it's another thing for a star to come in to try to absolve herself from previous anti-Black sins that she committed without trying to make them right. Somebody talk Black to me. It had nothing to do with really getting justice for Breonna Taylor, even though even circumstances like this, it don't even matter sometimes what people's motives are if, you're able to parlay that into something else. But sometimes when certain acts are done, it could try to take away from the actual victims, because this right now, what Gayle King is doing, this is about Gayle trying to absolve herself from her long reputation and will be legacy of attacking Black men for white people, white networks, and getting paid for it. But why? It's only because we've been giving her that work. Shout out to you, Black family. Shout out to the Black grassroots and Black society. Watch this. People like your Jamil Hills, they can't take credit for this kind of stuff. Your other Bones and Biscuits that every now and then will say something pro-Black, these individuals kept silent or even defended Gayle and Oprah's anti-Blackness. Somebody talk Black to me. They had nothing to do with Gayle King and Oprah being born again. Oprah is talking more Black than she ever has in 15 lifetimes. Gayle, as you all know, tacitly acknowledged the fact that her $11 million contract that she got last year, I think it was last year or a few months ago, had to do with highly rated interviews that she was doing that had to do with race and Black men. They bragged on her unnecessary series that she did on R. Kelly. Regardless of what you think about some of the details of R. Kelly, all the stuff they said about him is not necessarily true, but to the extent that he was dead wrong. The greater sin in my mind with those back-to-back and unnecessary documentaries that they made about him, and they made about Michael Jackson, the one that Oprah was getting ready to do on Russell Simmons, is the fact that they never they were never compelled to do these kinds of things, let's say, on Charlie Rose. Do you all know who Charlie Rose is? How many times have I had to remind you all of who Charlie Rose is? This is a piece from Vanity Fair. Charlie Rose, and I've discussed this at length. Look at this picture. Can y'all see this? That's not the best picture, and my little screen is a little damaged too. So we're waiting to replace that. Look at this. Keep liking and sharing, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Here's another picture of failed King and Charlie Rose. Charlie Rose used to be the former co-host of Gayle's CBS morning show, right? Look at Gayle. Don't she just look like she just has never been happier, except for in the arms of her zaddy? Somebody talk black to me. That's who Gayle's former co-host was. How many of y'all remember that? Here's another more intimate picture of them together in the dark at dinner. Y'all see that? Well, Charlie Rose, dear family, Gayle King's former co-host, in case some of you may have forgotten. This piece discusses the fact that they titled this actually, Gayle King on Charlie Rose, quote, there are two sides to every story. Do you all remember what happened with Charlie Rose family? Listen, while the CBS host believes the women who accused her former CBS This Morning colleague of sexual misconduct, she says that she is still friends with Rose. Gayle says this to them, quote, you can hold two ideas in your head at the same time. The piece begins by saying Charlie Rose was ousted from CBS This Morning after multiple allegations. How many, family? Multiple allegations of sexual misconduct from dozens of women. But Gayle King has not abandoned her former co-anchor. In fact, the two are still friends. And although King has not hidden this fact in the past, a new profile from the New York Times offers new insight into the anchor's continued relationship with her disgraced former CBS This Morning colleague. It says that King has been tough on her network at times while reporting on alleged misconduct by its on-air talent executives. But she also told the Times' Amy Kozik that she believes you can hold two ideas in your head at the same time, meaning, per the Times, that King both believes the women who accuse Rose of sexual misconduct and rejects the notion that all accused men should be forever shunned from polite society. The problem that I have with Gayle publicly supporting this white man who was accused by multiple women of sexual misconduct is that Gayle went out on the line to publicly tell the world that she is still friends with him. There are two sides to every story. And what else did I just say? She doesn't believe. Also, let me read it again, that King believes the women who accuse Rose of sexual misconduct and rejects the notion that all accused men should be forever shunned from polite society. The problem with her family making that statement is that she made it about this white man, Charlie Rose. She did not hold that similar disposition, that similar belief when it came down to a black man. And neither did her homegirl, Oprah Winfrey. That's the problem that I have with you mammies, is that you'll put it all on the line publicly. Gayle got just a little bit of backlash for publicly supporting him, but she was willing to take that hit to her reputation for this white man. Are you all understanding this? Now, I'm going to go back again to a little bit more of this interview that she did, this interview that she did with Kenneth Walker, that she's so unworthy of having. And I want to listen to a little bit of the end of the interview because it's quite a bit it's quite a bit in terms of the interview, but I want you to listen to a little bit of this, family. Don't forget, fam, that you can join my mastermind tonight at clubvicki.com. Clubvicki.com. I'm going to keep today's mastermind short because I need to get to it. I had a really medically tough day and night last night, and so I need to make sure that I set myself up for that and so that I can properly have time to do other things that I need to do in preparation for my mastermind tonight so that I can end that at a reasonable time. But family, make sure that you give us a thumbs up, thumbs up. You can sign up for the mastermind. clubvicky.com, clubvicky.com. And don't forget, Dr. Boyce Watkins and Dr. Claude Anderson are doing a mastermind, Powernomics Mastermind, on October 15th. And again, you can join that at powernomicsmasterclass.com, powernomicsmasterclass.com. And thank all of those of you. I came on early yesterday, but I see some of you saw that I did do a show yesterday and have been watching it. So make sure that you catch up on the last couple of podcasts that I did on the network, so you'll be able to find them uploaded here. Please make sure that you like and that you share today's broadcast as well. Let's listen to a little bit more of the interview that she did with Kenneth Walker, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, who was attempting to protect her.
I was in the back of the car. I got drugged all the way down the street. It was cold. It was wet. I didn't have any socks and shoes on gravel, rocks, and everything. They was just dragging me like I had scabs and stuff on my feet from that.
When they take you to the police station, still no socks and shoes?
Still no socks and shoes. When we finally left the scene, we pulled over in like a random parking lot on Manslick, which is the street, like at the bottom of the hill down the street from Brianna's apartment.
Are y'all hearing that? He said when they were on their way, he said they took him into a random parking lot, right? Listen.
And another officer in an unmarked car, and he wasn't in uniform and stuff, and he came to my window, but his tone was way different than everybody else's who was just on the scene.
How so? Different how?
He told me that this was a misunderstanding, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it, and asking me, did I need anything? Did I need water and this and that?
Hey, partner, can I get your name? Kenneth Walker. Matt, there was a little bit of miscommunication. I wanted to talk to you before they left.
That's the actual officer's voice. The police saying, Kenneth Walker, he said there was a little bit of miscommunication. I wanted to talk to you before they left. That means that they knew on the scene. The police that showed up on the scene knew they screwed up, family. Our brother said that before they took him to the police station, they took him to some random parking lot for this nut to tell him that. Are y'all connecting the dots here?
To the police headquarters or whatever it was, they took the handcuffs off of me and everything. I was walking around, went to the bathroom.
Go ahead. When you go there, you take the handcuffs off.
So clearly y'all know something's wrong. Because you don't...
You're allowed to move freely.
Yeah, you don't allegedly shoot a police officer and they take the handcuffs off you.
Were you surprised to hear that you were accused of shooting a police officer?
I definitely was surprised. But I was more concerned about, is he okay and is Breonna okay? At this point, I still didn't even know if she was alive or not.
So when did officers tell you you were going to be charged with attempted murder? When did you hear that?
Maybe like 5 or 6 in the morning that same night.
What did you think?
I was worried about if Breonna was okay or not.
When were you finally told that Breonna didn't make it?
I never really got told, like, directly. I saw it on the news.
That's how you...
Did y'all hear that? He didn't even know his woman was murdered. He didn't know that she was killed. He heard it on the news in jail.
Breonna Taylor died on the news?
Pretty much. And I was in the cell and it was like on the news and it said one, female dead. They confirmed it. I didn't know for sure what condition, she was in when I left. So I didn't know what they did. But as these body cam videos and stuff come out, I see they did nothing. Clearly we see the SWAT team in there and she was still in there. They're still like casing the apartment. What's her laying right there on the ground.
Apartment 4 is not a crime scene. Let's go ahead and move out. All right, she's done.
Disrespectful.
Do you think if you would not survive this incident, that we would be hearing the story that we're hearing today? If you had not survived it?
Definitely not. There wouldn't be a story.
That's key. For Gayle King to say to our brother, do you think, listen, family, I hope y'all are connecting the dots. She said to our brother, do you think if you didn't survive that we will be hearing the story that we hear now? What am I saying? No, Gayle, you know darn well we wouldn't be hearing the story. You're the one that believes that when black men are dead, that's the time to try and desecrate their legacy. Gayle, you know all too well, baby, that story wouldn't be told. And Gayle, you wouldn't even be inclined to care. shows like the Vicki Show and others that have been giving you this nonstop work, that have been lifting the voice of the voiceless, because white mainstream media didn't do it. I was seeing something on Twitter the other day, and I tweeted out, when people always run to say how toxic social media is. Of course, there are toxic elements of social media. I've discussed some here and there. It's disturbing. But let's not play dumb and exempt white mainstream media, traditional forms of media. I know you're not fixing to sit here and tell me Fox News is not toxic. I know you're not fixing to sit here and tell me CNN and the other white mainstream outlets having stereotyped you, ignored your stories, neglected you. And so they're mad now that we're using alternative media to speak for ourselves. They're mad now because we're starting to have very real reach and impact, and they're having to contend with that. Don't you ever let them get away with just saying that it's toxic elements of social media. You say it's toxic elements in all forms of media, print media, radio, television, digital, and otherwise. They're doing that to specifically attack alternative media so that way when they make policies and rules and regulations to try to shut down social media, you would be more inclined to go with it, and you would have had everything to do with them shutting us down because you were one of the main ones pushing the idea. Oh yeah, social media is so toxic. Yes, I talked about the toxic elements of social media, but I don't act like it's worse than anything else. It was your mainstream media that helped sell a war of weapons of mass destruction, and we found out that was a big fat lie. Don't you ever forget that. Gayle knows very well the story would have been different, and she wouldn't have cared to tell a different story because she would have been there with her white network, pleased to have that nearness to whiteness, giggling and carrying on and not giving a crap. I'm going to remind you of a few things here. He's almost done, family. Thumbs up, please. Like and share. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard and Twitter at Dillard Vicki. Also, sign up for my mastermind tonight, clubvicki.com. There's some other important links in the chat as well. So make sure that you pay attention to that our moderators are putting intermittently.
You probably wouldn't even know about it. If I didn't live, you probably wouldn't even know about Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor or Kenny Walker.
Or Kenny Walker. I don't want everybody to know about Kenny Walker now. As long as everybody knows Breonna Taylor.
What do you want us to know
I know that's right, brother.
about Breonna Taylor?
She would do anything for anybody. She took care of a lot of people. So a lot of people that need her bad right now. Including me.
Wow.
Now that's the end of the interview. I wanted you to listen real quick to the last little bit. Now that Gayle is done with the interview that they showed today, listen to what Gayle is saying about her interview that she did with Kenneth Walker to her colleague.
Attorney General's recommendation not to charge any officers for Breonna Taylor's death. Both the Louisville Metro Police Department and attorneys for 3 individual officers involved declined our request for interviews or for comment.
Actually, that cut off the part that I wanted you to listen to at the last part, but that's okay. We'll get that. Maybe I'll mention that or review that at some other time. What I want you to keep in mind in terms of why Gayle has a heck of a nerve to get this interview. I want to remind you, family, in addition to the fact of her caping for white men at the expense of black men. Do you all remember this? Do you remember this?
You as a woman.
When she sat down a few months ago with Lisa Leslie. How many of y'all remember that? When Gayle King sat down a few months ago with Lisa Leslie, a very, very good friend Kobe Bryant, I want you to hear what Gayle was attempting to do with Kobe Bryant's best friend, Lisa Leslie. And our brother was not even buried yet.
As a WNBA player,
she was going to be in the WNBA.
It's been said that his legacy is complicated because of the sexual assault charge, which was dismissed in 2003, 2004. Is it complicated for you as a woman, as a WNBA player?
It's not complicated for me at all. Even if there's a few times that we've been at a club at the same time. Kobe's not the kind of guy, never been like, Lisa, go get that girl or tell her or send her this. I have other NBA friends that are like that. Mm-hmm. Kobe's, he was never like that.
Now listen, the Chiron there said, remembering a legend. So while Gayle is interviewing Kobe Bryant's best friend, one of his good friends, and the man hadn't been buried yet, under the guise of remembering a legend, she was willing to attack his legacy.
Lisa, go get that girl or tell her or send her this. I have other NBA friends that are like that. Mm-hmm. Kobe's, he was never like that. I just never have ever seen him being the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's
why Gayle is disgusting. It's not just that she asked the question, which she had no business doing because it wasn't based on anything. This white girl lying. Shout out to you for your gifts. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you, beloved. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Y'all listen. It's not, and I don't want y'all to miss this. The issue was not just that she was asking questions about our brother Kobe. She was out of pocket to even bring up this lie from this white girl about sexual assault. What appears to everybody to be a lie, as far as we can tell. But the worst part, well, that really was a big part that made it terrible that she brought up in the first place. But how she conducted the interview concerning that was even more telling and more diabolical. Listen again to the last couple of seconds, y'all. Listen.
Kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's
now watch this. Gayle had the nerve to be hostile.
Gayle King is responding to the hate that she got on Twitter.
This done skipped to something else. Watch this. The problem that I had.
She was going to be in the WNBA.
With Gayle is that once Lisa Leslie didn't move in the direction that Gayle was hoping to take the interview by dogging out this dead man, Gayle had the nerve to be hostile. Isn't that something? Gayle had the nerve to be hostile in pushing back on this woman that knew Kobe better than Gayle knew it. But our sister Lisa Leslie, as I did a show many months ago discussing it, shut her down very elegantly. I'm just bringing this to your remembrance to let you all know why Gayle didn't deserve this interview concerning a black man. Gayle needs to stay as far away from black men and their stories as possible. Gayle even discussing this is so that she can help her network level up and so that she can absolve herself from the many sins of attacking black men. We've been giving her this work, and her and Oprah are talking more black than they ever had in all their lives. But I'm going to tell you the problem that they still have.
I have other NBA friends that are like that. Kobe's he was never like that. I just never have ever seen him being the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's possible. I just don't believe that. And I'm not saying things didn't happen. I just don't believe that things didn't happen with force.
Is it even a fair question to...
Now watch how sneaky and deceptive this mammy is. She's an exceptionally deceptive mammy. This not no average mammy. Gayle has taken her cues from her homegirl Okra over the years. They've refined deceptiveness. Y'all play too much. Thank you, Erica. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thumbs up, family. Listen. Now you see she keeps pushing back to back, right? She's finding sneaky ways to keep the subject going after once Lisa said, that ain't who I know. That's not like, she keeps pushing back. Well, you wouldn't know, Lisa. You wouldn't know. That's what she's doing to force Lisa to keep talking about this particular area that has been debunked in Kobe's life. For her white network, family. Do you understand that this is the worst kind of human being? To use the legacy of a dead man to help a white racist network get ratings? And to solidify her next multi-million-dollar contract?
Talk about it, considering he's no longer with us and that it was resolved. Or is it really part of his history?
Did y'all hear that?
With this and that it was resolved.
Didn't happen with force.
Is it even a fair question to talk about it, considering he's no longer with us and that it was resolved? Or is it really part of his history?
You see how she snuck that in? Is it, seeing that he's not with us? She knows it's inappropriate to be talking about this dead man. But look how slick she added, is it that, or is it a part of his legacy?
I think that the media should be more respectful. At this time, it's like if you had questions about it, you've had many years to ask him that. I don't think
that's the biggest thing that Lisa Leslie punched Gayle King in the teeth with. When she said the media needs to be more respectful, she was talking about you, Gayle. She was telling you, Mammy, that you were being disrespectful, desecrating the legacy of a dead man and he hadn't been buried yet. Over a story, over a lie from this white woman. And there was no evidence, no credible evidence that there was a sexual assault. And she hit you in the teeth, Gayle, when she said you had many years to ask him about it. Do you all understand why this is so devilish? Do you all understand this? Worse than that, her point was, you could have asked him these questions yourself for years. Are y'all hearing me? This was sensational what Gayle was doing. Did y'all hear that? They had years to ask him that yourself. You weren't interested in the truth, Gayle. You're interested in pleasing your white networks that you're connected with.
It's something that we should keep time. It's like if you had questions about it, you've had many years to ask him that. I don't think it's something that we should keep hanging over his legacy. I mean, it went to trial.
Yeah, well, it was dismissed because the victim in the case refused to testify. So it was dismissed.
Even how Gayle, with her little dirty mammy self, even how she said that it was dismissed because the victim refused to testify. Even in that, she was giving more credibility to a white girl that had so many different kinds of male fluids in her. From Pakistan, from over there in Yemen and stuff, down there in Nicaragua, and some Detroit stuff. Somebody talk black to me. That's about all the different kinds of nations and stuff that was up in there. Forget the other witnesses, forget the girls own statements and all the other evidence that proved otherwise and why she didn't do it. Girl, sit down. Even in that, she was willing to give her more credibility. Somebody talk back to me. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. I'm just reminding you of why she's so terrible.
And I think that's how we should.
But thank God for Lisa Leslie, who shut it down.
Dismissed because the victim in the case refused to testify. So it was dismissed.
And I think that's how we should leave it.
That was brilliant. And I think that's how we should leave it. For those of you that were not bothered by her doing these back-to-back R. Kelly things, the problem I had with that, like in similar other cases, why y'all laughing at me, is that she had no business having those back-to-back interviews with R. Kelly. Every single one of those interviews should have been with her former colleague, Charlie Rose, Harvey Weinstein, or one of the many priests that has infested the Catholic global church the world over, that were raping children. The untold sexual deviance that's all throughout America. Concentrated parts like Hollywood. You had it was limitless the number of people that you could have picked, Gayle, for that interview. Are y'all hearing me today? And finally, I'm about to end it, family, because I got to go. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Again, thank you all so much for your patience. You all know I had technical issues earlier, and some people were misdirected to the initial setup that I had done on Fly Nubian Queen. I think that I had someone delete that off of there so that other folk will stop going there. So I thank you all so much for your patience. Keep liking, sharing. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. But do you all remember this? Now, after Gayle got a lot of backlash for that, after Gayle got a lot of backlash, after she was further exposed for attacking black men. Because remember, Oprah attacked another dead black man. Remember? Michael Jackson. Y'all remember that? Remember Oprah and Gayle, because see, Oprah went by herself. Oprah and Gayle were on the yacht with this suspected white supremacist, David Geffen. Y'all see David Geffen right there on his yacht? You see Oprah celebrating her birthday? And who's all up in the cut? That's Gayle. And Gayle's son was there too, and their friend. For Oprah's birthday celebration on David Geffen's yacht, David Geffen right here was considered to be Michael Jackson's #1 enemy. Michael Jackson was said to have had a list of 25 on an enemies list, and he was atop that list. Oprah didn't care nothing about Michael Jackson, a black man, having a problem with this suspected white supremacy that messed up his legacy and that some believe and some speculate had to do with his murder. Oprah decides she's going to sit her funny looking self and eat and enjoy her birthday on his yacht. And for her birthday, they watched the documentary Leaving Neverland. But Oprah wasn't by herself. Even on Oprah's birthday, the way they celebrated was setting up, getting ready to attack another black man's legacy, another dead black man's legacy. That's what this was a plot for. Happy birthday, Oprah. This was about plotting on Oprah's birthday to attack another dead black man, a legend, a god, which this piece of outdoors trash and vermin can never be. Even in Michael Jackson's death, Michael Jackson has been dead for almost a decade. These white supremacists tried to attack a god, a music god. And Gayle was right there with it. So they have a history, a pattern of attacking dead black men so they can level up and appease and please white people. So after we gave Gayle all this work, do you all remember this? Do you remember this about Oprah? Let me get it to come up here, family. Do y'all remember when Oprah took her funny looking self it's not coming up right now. When Oprah took her funny looking self onto another network so that she could defend Gayle. Remember? And she bust out crying. Shout out to you, Angel Love, for your gift. I absolutely love you. Thank you for teaching us. I love your war briefing. Thank you, beloved. You are so precious, and I appreciate your support of us, Angel. I bless your gift 1,000-fold, beloved.
Work, put up that clip.
Watch this.
And has to now travel with security. And
watch this.
Friend and Benny.
Oprah, y'all remember about 8 months ago, Oprah took her funny looking self on Hooters and them morning show to defend Gayle after everybody started to rightly chastise them for attacking dead black men and for attacking black men in general. Y'all remember that? Listen to what Oprah did.
Pretty difficult after that interview with Lisa Leslie about Kobe. And I just wondered just how she's doing. She's not doing well. May I say she is not doing well.
Girl, shut up.
Because she has now death threats and has to now travel with security. And she's feeling very much attacked. You know, Bill Cosby is texting from, is tweeting from jail.
Do you see Oprah's hate for black men, that even in a situation where we've been calling him out for attacking black men, she still throws Bill Cosby's name in there? Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And then she tries to invoke the white girl's tears. That's not working. Shout out to you, Black Society. You and I, we as a team, meaning the collective black family that's been exposing this, we're the ones that made that happen. Not Jamil Hill. Van Jones and them, anybody, the blackface folks, Roland Martin, all the rest of them, any of the rest of the folks, and I'm not trying to disrespect Van or any of the other ones. The point is, those black faces that you see more prominently on major networks, none of them, they kept silent when Oprah and Gayle was attacking black men. It was folks outside of mainstream establishment that was exposing them. They didn't have no problem with it.
She's not doing well, and feels that she was put in a really terrible position because that interview had already ran. Mm-hmm. It was over. And in the context of the interview, everyone seemed fine, including Lisa Leslie. Mm-hmm. And it was only because somebody at the network put up that clip. And I can see how people would obviously be very upset if you thought that Gayle was just trying to press to get an answer from Lisa Leslie. But she obviously, all things pass. She will be okay. But she hasn't slept in 2 days. What do you think about all that criticism? I think the vitriol is, I think anybody can criticize anything, but the misogynist vitriol and the attacking to the point where it is dangerous to be in the streets alone because...
Girl, shut up. Please shut up. Please, right now, please, now. Now, because Oprah's white girl's tears didn't work, and because she tried to intervene for Gayle right there, because things were so bad. The reason why I'm mentioning black folks that are in mainstream media, Don Lemon, none of the rest of them was talking about. The reason I'm bringing them up, you got to ask yourself, who is Oprah talking about here? Mostly, it's not just those one or two little stars or hip hop folks that said something like Snoop and this kind of stuff. No, baby, that was an environment, an atmosphere that was set. I told you all before when Snoop was saying to Jada Pinkett Smith in the interview that the more people were with him when he made that statement. No, baby, You was with us, Snoop. Snoop, we was doing the work, baby. And it's fine that you join in when you do something right. I'm not dissing him for that. I'm just saying that we set an environment that made it easy for Snoop to make that comment. And of course, we found out later he punked out later and said that Van Jones called him to apologize. He said, what's his name? The one that played Madea. Tyler Perry called him to apologize, and P. Diddy. Those three men, and I mean, maybe there were more, but he named at least three men. Snoop did. They called him and told him to apologize. And then, of course, he talks about the impact of his black mama persuading him too. So I'm saying all that to let you guys know that Oprah and Gayle know that they've caused a lot of damage. Watch this. They haven't apologized for it. Guess what they did? They turned around and played victim and blamed us. I don't have time to give you the other receipts, but I thought I would remind you of the reason why Gayle is absolutely unworthy of having that interview with our brother Kenneth Walker, who is a hero endeavoring to protect his woman. She was unworthy of that. And again, the backlash they received had nothing to do with prominent Black media faces. The reason they're feeling the pressure is because of the sustained pressure that the Black grassroots gave them, and it's making a difference. Love you all. I gotta go. Don't forget, thank you so much, Nuri, Vicki equals brilliant. I love you all so much for your kind words and your support of me and the network, of course. Make sure that you join my mastermind. I'll be on tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, inshallah, 9 p.m. Eastern, inshallah. Clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. I still think they got a sale going on for the first 30 days, $1. I'm not sure how much longer that's going to be going on, but I think it's still going on now. So I got to get ready for that. And also I want you to join Dr. Boyce Watkins and Dr. Claude Anderson's upcoming Powernomics Mastermind. The link is in the chat, powernomicsmasterclass.com for that. Also, beloved, I want you to follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. I look forward tomorrow to updating you on a few other things. If you follow me on Twitter, sometimes you'll have an idea what I plan on doing there. And I want to thank every single one of you that are a supporter and that are consistent and that are faithful. Thank you so very much. I'm cutting it short today, but I thank you so much. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace. Mwah.